Oh, good morning. Who else had to turn on the furnace today? Fall is in the air. We're getting ready for our fall equinox coming up.
Yeah, and double duty, full moon. Woohoo, a little bit of energy.
Ooh, full moon and equinox.
And equinox.
There you go. Okay, well, that should be interesting. And then
there's out there that can update us on what all that means.
Yeah, put a little bit of solar flares in there.
Yeah, it'll explain a whole lot to a whole lot.
And that'll make for an interesting week.
Yes.
Funny, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna check on out and see who is joining us this morning.
Well, good morning, and welcome to Feng Shui Friday with Anita and Cheryl.
Well, where are we?
We're here.
We're here.
And you know what? Before we get going, and while you're checking to see who's coming on, you got to talk about what's exciting and happening next week.
Oh, next week I'm doing the Western School of Feng Shui Essential Feng Shui Certification Training. And it is 6 days intensive training. And I have some amazing students that are going to be stepping into the Feng Shui world. And so, yeah, really excited about that. It's going to be a full week. Exciting. Yeah.
I'm excited for them. I'm excited for you to be back teaching again, because it's only once a year typically.
And well, yeah, it used to be twice a year before the thing happened.
Yeah. Recently it's only been once a year. So I'm excited for you. So I've already had a card fly out.
Of course. And the card flies out. As you know, the topic of the day is directed by the Personal Paradise card deck by Tara Catherine Collins from the Western School of Feng Shui. So yeah, there you go. And what's the topic for the day, Cheryl?
Today is card number 10.
10.
This is our 30th episode.
Ooh. Okay.
And the card is, and we actually could have used some right now. Sound makers.
What is it?
Sound makers.
Sound makers. Oh, gotcha. Oh yeah, I gotcha. Okay, so like this.
Have you got some sound makers handy?
Of course I do.
Of course you do. Woohoo! You know what's so cool about them is they get the cheese attention. They kind of work as a chi director, hey? Come on over here, listen to this beautiful sound, right? Bead curtains.
You know what? That actually just reminded me of something. 2 years ago, my sister and I went to upstate New York, and we were traveling from, where were we? Okay, yeah, we were traveling from Stamford, Connecticut, to upstate New York. So it was about a 4-hour car drive, whatever. And we were, we were following the GPS system, but who knows, you end up taking a little road and the next thing I knew, there was a sign and it said, "Welcome to Woodstock."
Oh, no way.
And it was the 50th anniversary of Woodstock, the concert. Yeah. And we came into the town of Woodstock. And we were like, oh, this is cool. And so then we kind of went down the little main street. It's a really cool little town. And we were trying to find a parking spot. And then we found a parking spot behind a building. And there was this one guy, and he looked like he just woke up from
Woodstock
the concert. And we were like, Oh,
appropriate.
okay. Okay, he just woke up after 50 years. He's still here. But anyway, so as the little sound makers go, have you ever seen the Woodstock chimes?
No.
You know, they're the great big long tubes, and they're beautiful. Like they're all tuned into the specific notes. They're called Woodstock chimes.
Cool.
And I actually used to sell them in my store years ago. And I had no idea they're actually made in Woodstock.
Oh, neat.
New York. So that we actually saw the place where they're made, and I had no idea. Anyways, cool little side note story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think wind chimes are great, but here's what I've learned about wind chimes. A few years ago, my hubby bought me some bamboo wind chimes,
Yep.
and I love the sound of them.
Yes.
He does not. So I had them hanging just by our front door, attracting the chi, right? Ooh,
Yeah.
come on over here. And our front door faces the north wind.
Right.
So they got beat up pretty badly, and he thought noisy. I thought fabulous. So we agreed and moved them to the corner of the house. And they got beat up even more. I still have to repair them. They're still sitting in the garage to be repaired on my cleanups and completions list.
Right.
But that's something to note. Future reference. When you're deciding on something, if there's others in your family that it's going to have a bearing on or effect on,
yeah,
get them involved in that decision-making process. So it's the sound that both of you really do, or your entire family need to enjoy.
Yeah, good point. And so when we think about sound, sound travels on that unseen energy, and it really comes down to frequency, and frequency does affect us. And just again, think about your favorite song, or think about when a real catchy little song comes on and you go, and you start doing, I mean, I do anyways, maybe you guys all don't, but I do. And then, because I have this little leg that starts to go, ooh, music. And again, when you think about any indigenous culture in history, go back thousands of years, and there was always some kind of music or sound, right? The sound, the vibration, and used in ceremony. Sound is just like, we have these two things on the side of our head for a reason. And we also receive a lot of information, right, through our sound devices.
Absolutely.
And then the brain translates that information, and again lifts your personal vibration, your personal energy to match whatever's coming in. And so it really can play a huge role. So what are some of the ways that in our home we can elevate the chi or enhance the frequency or the vibration using sound?
Well, obviously, whatever plays music, and equipment. So by equipment, I mean like musical instruments, maybe. However, having them as dust collectors has the opposite effect.
Right.
So if you love playing guitar and you have a wall of guitars and you use them, excellent. That's some serious chi enhancing. But if you have guitars and they're strewn all over the place and they're an obstacle course and they're a dust collector and they're an annoyance, well, the chi isn't enhanced all that much. Right? But having a wind chime or something to bring the energy down. So if you've got a
Mhm.
high roof or a high ceiling, maybe bringing a longer wind chime down can help bring the energy down.
Yeah, and you know what? You can use wind chimes indoors, right? I mean, I have this one because my grandkids, you know, they like to play with it. And so I actually don't have it hanging, but you could hang, you know, a sound maker inside your home, you know, inside a window. So when you have the window open and the little breeze comes in, it's just soft and gentle. And then, you know, think about you know, the Feng Shui, right? What the word Feng Shui means, wind and water. And in nature, Mother Nature, right? She gives us that sound of water. And quite often, you know, you will hear water in the background for a meditation. Oh, there's a clue. Okay, so is it possible that the sound of water naturally, instinctively soothes and calms us? And again, think about, we spent 9 months inside our mother's womb, encased in a beautiful water environment. So there might be something there to say, okay, if I, you know, so that's the two sides. It's like, if we want to elevate our chi, you know, and just get really jazzed and juiced, then, hey, we can use sound to do that. But if we want to just deflate, relax, just kind of zen out, then maybe water is the sound, the source that we need.
Absolutely. And there's some very nice, I have 2 different ones, tabletop water fountains. Now, the one in my office doesn't create any sound unless you're literally standing right beside it. It's very soft, flowing. I want it for the energy flow.
Yeah.
The one that I have in the kitchen has a ball that spins on it. And you can hear the water trickle down. So quite often you go to a spa, especially spas.
Yep.
They'll use water to muffle as well. Hotels, big water feature in the front entrance to help tone down some of the sounds of the people in the surrounding, or the echoing on the tile floor, or whatever the case may be. So multiple uses of sound, either, right? Both directions going.
When my grandson comes to sleep over, his mom always packs his sound machine. So who knew? We had kids, we never had any of that stuff. But anyways, nowadays, the young parents, they use sound machines, and there's about 4 different settings. And one of them is just like white noise, they call it. And it's just like, shh, kind of like that. And then there's, you know, there is a water one. There's like raindrops. You know, that's my favorite sound. I love a good old thunder boomer, you know, and the clapping of the thunder and the drizzling rain. I just love that. And so, yeah, anyways, there's sound machines. So maybe if you have trouble sleeping, right, go get yourself a sound machine. Look in the baby section at the Walmart. You'll find one.
Absolutely. 9:44. Where does the time go? So we need to talk about a couple things. The first one, that this is our 30th episode. And the 3 is our catalyst. Also, for a lot of people in spirituality, it is a symbol of the Trinity.
Yes.
We quite often talk in Feng Shui, mind, body, spirit, as a Trinity.
And our home has a mind, body, spirit aspect. Did you know that?
Cool. Again, in reference to the Bhagwan. So, number 10. Let's talk about the 10, Miss Anita.
Well, number 10, you know, we always reduce the number, right, to the smallest. So if you add 1 plus 0, of course you get 1 again. And 1 is, you know, it's new beginnings. We've talked about that before, but I think when we relate the 1 to the sound, it really is talking about going inside. It's that inner world, you know, because we can only control what we do, right? So whether it's our reaction to something or our perception of something, we can only do that from our own, you know, our own inner being, our own inner wisdom, our own inner strength, power, whatever that is. And so I think with the sound, it's like, let's go inside, because Feng Shui is all about the inner world and the outer world. And we can't work on one without working on the other. So I really think that today that this card might be a catalyst, right? A catalyst to go inner and just, you know, take your own deep breath, listen to some sounds that either soothe you or uplift you, and create a different emotion for you personally today.
Nice.
And that's going to then shift, right? It's going to shift something that will be a catalyst to something else.
Beautiful.
That's my take.
Beautiful. I love the analogy of going inside. There's so much noise out here right now. And I know for myself personally, I have some favorite music that I listen to when I meditate. Most of it's by Randy Luna. And check out his music. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
But there are teachers that in meditation, and Esther Hicks talks about it. So if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, focusing on one sound, a really subtle sound in the room. So she'll suggest if you can hear the air conditioner. And when you can take your attention from the busyness going on all around you and focus on that one sound, you can calm yourself and you can align yourself very easily and very quickly. Yeah, that works for some people. Doesn't work for others, but until you start playing with things that you enjoy, sound is a great way to do that.
Yeah, love it. Love it. So it's the inner world and the outer world. Put one of these, you know, by your front door. Put one somewhere, and then see how it makes you feel. Because really, at the end of the day, it's about how does it make me feel, and we want to feel great, right? We want to feel fantastic.
Feng Shui, fantastic.
That's right. And there's some other F words, of course, we could put in there. But anyways, that's good for today.
Frequency. Fun.
Okay, so yeah, we're already the middle of the month, and have a fantastic weekend, everyone. And thanks for tuning in to Feng Shui Friday, Learning to Use the F Word with Anita and Cheryl.